So we're going to use this concept to walk through a couple different projects. And these are all very practical projects you can do in real life. One we're going to look at is just using something like an Arduino, if you wanted to control a very big load. Another one is if you have a laser cutter or something like that, and you have an exhaust fan, and you want the exhaust fan to automatically turn on when the laser cutter turns on. Or maybe you have a chop saw, and you want your vacuum to automatically turn on when your chop saw turns on. Those are some ways you can use relays. We'll talk about that one. And then lastly, we'll do a real quick thing through how you could make a drill press safer. So we could start, for example, with the this Arduino controlling a like a space heater in your living room, right? So this could be an IoT project. This could be a number of different things. And we basically have a very small sensitive piece of electronics over here that we want to interface with a very kind of powerful high voltage system. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the relay, which I left somewhere else on the page. Here it is. So we're going to take this guy, and if it lets me grab it, we're going to drag it over here and put this in the middle. And so this is a very similar circuit, and you're going to be able to play with all these. I'm going to make all this stuff available. Very similar circuit to what we were looking at a few minutes ago. So here on the left side, we have what's pretending to be an Arduino. Imagine this is a black box Arduino, right? And it's turning on and off for some reason. And when it turns on, it's activating this switch. Now notice, it's activating this coil, but it's not actually touching any of the switch parts. So what we can do now is for your space heater or your vacuum, whatever you have over here, we can wire it up so that switch is controlling it. And so, I might have done it backwards. We're going to see in a sec. Yeah, so I did it backwards where it's turning off instead of on. So we'll go to the other one. And now when the Arduino has an on signal, it activates the coil, which closes a switch and runs our space heater, right? And so this is a way, when you get a signal from your Arduino or microcontroller or whatever it is, you can use that signal, even a very small signal, to drive a relay that does something very large on the other side. And so that basic concept can be really useful. Now, there is a weird trick here, and I'm not going to go into this in depth. I'll talk about it in my next session if you are interested. The coil of a relay is what's called an inductor, and it does have an effect where it can kind of kick back and cause voltage spikes that can damage an Arduino. And so there's some ways to go around that I'll talk about in more detail in the next thing. So here's just a quick example of how we did something with just a few wires that allowed us to take our Arduino or a simple switch and use it to control something very large.